From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We had a pretty seasonable fall day today in the forecast, and we saw temperatures into the 50s, 54 degrees in Lansing, 56 in Jackson, and 54 down in Coldwater. Temperatures have fallen back down into the 40s, 42 degrees in Lansing right now, 42 in Jackson, and 44 in Coldwater. Over the next 12 hours, we'll see those clouds begin to increase and temperatures settling in right around 38 degrees. And we'll start the day with mostly cloudy skies for our Sunday. All the details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 11 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
The race to the White House is heating up as we enter the final weekend before Election Day. It's our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Ramsey. Both presidential candidates focused largely on North Carolina today, with the countdown to the election just over 2 days away. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides is in Atlanta with the latest.
We win this state, we're going to win the whole ball game.
Both former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris rallied in North Carolina Saturday, which Democrats have not won since 2008, but it's been a close call ever since.
It is about the importance of lifting people up and not trying to tear them down.
I've come today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote on Tuesday, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of massive numbers of criminals that have come into our country.
Polls are tight in most swing states that could sway Tuesday's election, including Georgia.
Already voted. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous.
Hopefully they both have good intentions of bringing the country together. I think that should be one of the main things in keeping America first.
This Atlanta rally is the vice president is holding across battleground states.
In Georgia, we have an opportunity in this election to finally turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump.
As the race for the White House enters its final hours, Harris is expected to make multiple appearances in Michigan Sunday, while Trump is set to campaign once again in Pennsylvania. Considered the top price of the 7 battleground states, Harris will be there on Monday. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Atlanta.
And it was just announced that VP Harris made a trip to New York to appear on Saturday Night Live. The presidential candidates are rushing to make last-minute stops in Michigan, hoping to sway our critical swing state before the election this Tuesday. Tessa Crash is here for you now with the latest on the Michigan campaign trail. Tessa?
Yes, Rachel, it is a crucial week in this election. Both candidates are doing everything they can to mobilize voters in every battleground state. Just yesterday, former President Donald Trump was in Metro Detroit meeting with voters in Dearborn before holding a rally in Warren. Meanwhile, his running mate J.D. Vance rallied hundreds of supporters in the west side of the state. And Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz held campaign events in Detroit, Flint, and Traverse City. And coming up, Vice President Harris is coming to Michigan tomorrow. She'll attend church in Detroit before holding a rally right here in East Lansing on Michigan State University's campus. And on Monday, J.D. Vance will rally in Flint and Walz in Detroit. And remember, you still have until tomorrow to early vote or drop off an absentee ballot. Until then, stay with 6 News for the latest updates on the final stretch of the campaign, because we are your local election headquarters. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Tessa. And with Election Day so close, state officials are reminding people of their voting rights, especially people who have extra barriers when at the polls, like those with disabilities, people whose first language is not English, and returning citizens. Officials say if you are disabled, polling places must be accessible. If you have issues with reading, you are allowed to have assistance to help you understand your ballot. For people who speak a language other than English, you have the right to bring someone with you to the polls to translate your ballot. And former felons have the right to vote. The only time you can't is if you are in jail serving a sentence. Other than that, you can vote.
Voting is a civil right, and we encourage everyone to exercise that civil right. And as a result, you need to know what your rights are, because once you arrive, you want to make sure that you're treated accordingly and appropriately. So it's not just knowing that you have the right to vote, it's knowing what accompanies that right
There is a voter hotline at 866 Our Vote that you can call if you feel your right to vote is not being honored. Well, this morning, a woman died in a single vehicle crash. Michigan State Police say it happened around 10:20 a.m. on I-69 near Vermontville Highway, and it led to the closure of southbound traffic between Hartel Road and Lansing Road. After preliminary investigation, it's believed that the 77-year-old suffered a medical emergency while driving. She was the only one in the car at the time. Well, police are investigating after hundreds of thousands of dollars went missing from Potterville Public Schools. In June, the district was projected to have $800,000. An independent audit completed this week found the actual balance is less than $100,000. A fund balance is the difference between how much money a district has and how much it has to spend. State law requires districts maintain an unrestricted revenue of more than 5%, but this audit found Potterville has less than 1%. As a result, the district is at risk of being put under state oversight. The district did confirm for 6 News criminal investigations are underway to track missing money. Well, turning an eyesore into a work of art. That's what one Mid-Michigan waste company did to help elevate a Lansing neighborhood. Taryn Simmons is here for you now with the details on the inspiration behind the colorful design. Taryn?
Rachel Eastside Compost celebrated new murals at their headquarters created by Jill Dombrowski. She says she took inspiration from the people in her life and to create something unique for the community.
It wasn't really adding much to the landscape, and so I thought, you know, that could really use a little sprucing up.
Lansing resident and local artist Jill Dombrowski spent nearly a month planning out her sketch for her mural.
It to be something that people could enjoy looking at and take pride in, and something they would look forward to see on their walk around.
She revealed her work of art for the community to see at the Eastside Compost headquarters this afternoon. Event organizer Mike Dombrowski says he chose his wife Jill due to her other work in the community and because he loves her style.
We thought that it was a nice thing to look at, and there's a lot of traffic, bikers and walkers and people driving through the neighborhood, so now they have something really nice to look at.
The mural was painted on a compost container, and Dombrowski says she took inspiration for her piece from her daughter Zora.
Her drawings, her art really contains a lot of colorful rainbow elements. She's been drawing rainbows since she could hold a crayon.
She says she also took inspiration from the owners of the company.
He is really about sharing food and building community, and so I wanted to bring that joyful, playful energy to the mural. So I had the raccoons cheersing some apple cores that they found.
If you or anyone else is interested in seeing the mural, check out our website at WLNS.com.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We started the day a little bit chilly this morning with temperatures into the 20s and 30s, which means that we had some pockets of some patchy frost. I know I had to let the car warm up just a little bit this morning, but we did see beautiful conditions for today. Take a look at our Capitol time lapse. You can see that we started the day with some clear skies and even had our Christmas tree put up downtown Lansing, and we'll continue to see those clouds slowly filter their way into the sky for the rest of this evening. Overall, though, we saw those temperatures into the 50s today, right around average. 54 degrees was our high today in Lansing. Charlotte, Mason saw 55 degrees, Jackson at 56 degrees, and Coldwater 54 degrees. Again, average is right around 53 degrees for this time of year. Overall, we're going to continue to see our temperatures falling back down into the 40s for tonight. 42 degrees in Lansing, 42 in Howell, and 42 in Jackson. Overnight tonight, they'll continue to fall back down into the upper 30s with those clouds increasing, and we'll eventually see the clouds fully for the day on Sunday. But that's all because this high pressure system is going to continue to pull its way to the east, and we can see that this low pressure system is going to bring in some clouds and, yes, even some rainy conditions for the next couple of days. Let's take a look at that right now. We see those clouds slowly starting for Sunday morning, and then eventually we'll start to see this pocket of rain move into the area. Now, we stay dry for the morning hours, but then as we head into the afternoon and evening of Sunday night into Monday, we do see those those rain showers moving in. And then even Monday night into Tuesday, we have another round of rain. So we do see a little bit of some active weather moving into the next couple of days, but it's not going to be a complete washout. We're going to get some rain, have a little bit of a break, then more rain, then a little bit more of a break. And then that continues until about Wednesday, until we have some quiet weather returning to the forecast by Wednesday and Thursday. Again, Thursday looks beautiful as we head into the rest of the week. We'll see quiet conditions in the forecast as we head into the end of the week. But for tomorrow, temperatures will be into the 50s, 58 degrees with those increasing clouds and those rain showers moving in later tomorrow night into even Monday as well. Overall, we'll also continue to see gusty winds with this as the system moves through. For Tuesday, we'll start with those gusty winds around 30 to 40 miles per hour, and then we'll eventually see them calm down. Overall, we'll see maybe half an inch of rain on Monday, 3/4 of an inch on Tuesday, and overall we'll still see just about an inch total from this for the next couple of days. So overall, our 6-day forecast will see those temperatures back into the 60s for Monday and Tuesday, and showers will continue into the forecast for Tuesday, maybe even some of Wednesday, before we start to see those showers taper off into Wednesday and Thursday with partly cloudy skies remaining. Temperatures still remaining above average for this time of year, and they're going to remain above average until the week after next as we continue to see a mix of clouds and sun and maybe even some rain showers in the forecast for next week and the week after next as well.
Thank you, Kelsey.